Have you ever felt alone in a crowded room? Loneliness isn't just about physical separation. Sometimes, no matter how many people are around us, we feel like we're the only person living in this world. We feel lonely. We feel left out. Loneliness can be dangerous if we don't know how to handle it. It can affect our emotional well-being, leading to feelings of despair, anxiety, and even depression. But one thing that we often don't realize is that the same loneliness that is troubling us can be transformed into a blessing. Always remember, every challenge and difficult situation in life can be a blessing if we know how to handle it. So in this video, let's talk about how we can deal with loneliness and transform it into a blessing in our lives. To deal with loneliness, we first need to understand its root cause. Many people think that loneliness or the suffering associated with it depends on other people or an external source. They believe that when people leave them or they are separated from loved ones, they feel lonely. But this is not always the case. Even in the middle of a relationship, even when family and friends surround you, you can still feel lonely. This is because loneliness does not arise solely from external circumstances, but from our internal state. Loneliness occurs when our interactions with others do not match our desires or expectations, creating a sense of emptiness and suffering. As the Buddha teaches in the Dhammapada verse 338, just as a tree, though cut down, sprouts up again if its root remains uncut and firm, even so, until the craving that lies dormant is rooted out, suffering springs up again and again. The Buddha uses the metaphor of a tree to illustrate this point. If you only cut down the tree at the trunk, it will grow back because the root system is still intact. Similarly, if we only address the symptoms of loneliness without understanding and addressing its root causes, it will continue to reappear. Scientific research supports this perspective. Studies show that loneliness is not merely about being physically alone, but about the quality of our relationships and our mental state. When our social interactions do not fulfill our emotional needs, we can feel lonely despite being surrounded by people. Therefore, one crucial insight is that placing our happiness and expectations entirely on others is bound to lead to suffering and loneliness. This is because our expectations may not always be met, leading to feelings of emptiness and dissatisfaction. So how can we transform this loneliness into a blessing? It all begins with a shift in perspective. Let me share a story from the time of the Buddha to illustrate this. Before his enlightenment, the Buddha practiced severe asceticism, engaging in self-mortification in the belief that it would lead to liberation. During this time, 5 monks accompanied him, believing that his efforts would eventually lead to enlightenment and that they would benefit from his teachings. However, after a prolonged period, the Buddha realized that self-mortification was not the path to enlightenment and abandoned it. Disappointed, the 5 monks left him, and the Buddha found himself alone in the jungle. But here's the key. Although he was alone, he was not lonely. This period of solitude gave him the opportunity to turn inward and focus deeply on his own mind and practice. He used this time to understand the nature of suffering and the path to liberation. From this story, we learn that moments of loneliness can be opportunities for introspection and self-discovery. When we feel lonely, it is a chance to focus on ourselves, to reflect on our lives, and to develop a deeper understanding of who we are. It allows us to build inner strength and resilience. Embrace solitude. Solitude gives us the chance to turn inward and focus on our inner values and strengths. It allows us to practice self-compassion and self-care, which are essential for our well-being. When we embrace solitude, we can create a space for personal growth and self-improvement. Use this time to engage in activities that nourish your soul. Read books that inspire you. Engage in creative pursuits like painting or writing, or simply sit in meditation. These activities can help you connect with your inner self and find joy in your own company. Self-reflection. Use this time to reflect on your life. What are your desires and expectations? Are they realistic? Are they contributing to your sense of loneliness? Self-reflection helps us understand our minds better and align our actions with our true values. It's an opportunity to reassess what truly matters to us and to make necessary adjustments in our lives. Ask yourself, what are my true desires? What expectations am I holding on to? Are these expectations realistic and fair, both to myself and to others? By understanding these aspects of ourselves, we can begin to let go of unrealistic expectations and find contentment within. Develop inner qualities. Loneliness provides an opportunity to cultivate qualities like patience, resilience, and mindfulness. By focusing on personal development, we can transform ourselves and create a more fulfilling life. When we are alone, we can work on building a stronger character and developing virtues that will help us navigate life's challenges more effectively. Practicing mindfulness can be particularly helpful. By staying present and observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment, we can develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and our experiences. This awareness can help us respond to our feelings of loneliness with compassion and wisdom. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness helps us stay present and appreciate the moment, reducing feelings of loneliness. It allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment and to respond to them with kindness. By practicing mindfulness, we can become more aware of our inner world and develop a sense of peace and contentment within ourselves. Take a few moments each day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Notice the sensations in your body, the thoughts that arise, and the emotions you feel. Allow yourself to experience these without trying to change them. This practice can help you develop a sense of inner calm and acceptance. Build a stronger relationship with yourself. Loneliness can help us build a stronger, more loving relationship with ourselves. It encourages us to appreciate our own company and to develop a sense of inner peace and contentment. When we learn to enjoy being with ourselves, we become less dependent on others for our happiness and well-being. Spend time doing things that make you happy and fulfilled. Whether it's pursuing a hobby, taking a walk in nature, or simply enjoying a cup of tea in silence, these moments of self-care can help you build a positive relationship with yourself. The Buddha's teachings on loneliness. The Buddha's teachings provide valuable insights into dealing with loneliness. He emphasized the importance of understanding the root causes of our suffering and addressing them at their source. According to the Buddha, our attachment to desires and expectations is a significant cause of our suffering. By letting go of these attachments, we can find true peace and happiness. In the Buddha's time, he often retreated into solitude to meditate and reflect. He found that being alone allowed him to deepen his understanding of the nature of suffering and to develop the wisdom necessary for enlightenment. This example shows us that solitude can be a powerful tool for spiritual growth and self-discovery. Transforming loneliness into a blessing. To transform loneliness into a blessing, we need to change our perspective. Instead of viewing loneliness as a negative experience, we can see it as an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. Here are some steps to help you transform loneliness into a blessing. Embrace solitude. Use your time alone to focus on your inner self. Practice self-compassion and self-care. Engage in activities that nurture your soul and bring you joy. Reflect on your life. Take this opportunity to reflect on your desires and expectations. Are they realistic? Are they contributing to your sense of loneliness? Use this time for self-reflection and to realign your actions with your true values. Develop inner qualities. Work on cultivating qualities like patience, resilience, and mindfulness. Focus on personal development and building a stronger character. Practice mindfulness. Stay present and appreciate the moment. Observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment and respond to them with kindness. Develop a sense of peace and contentment within yourself. Build a stronger relationship with yourself. Learn to appreciate your own company and develop a loving relationship with yourself. Focus on self-love and self-acceptance. The story of the Buddha and the 5 monks. Returning to the story of the Buddha and the 5 monks, we see that the Buddha used his time alone to focus on his own mind and practice. He turned his solitude into an opportunity for deep introspection and self-discovery. This period of loneliness allowed him to develop the wisdom and understanding necessary for enlightenment. When the 5 monks left him, the Buddha did not succumb to loneliness. Instead, he embraced his solitude and used it to deepen his practice. This example shows us that we too can use our moments of loneliness as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. In conclusion, loneliness is not something to be feared or avoided. It can be a powerful catalyst for personal growth and self-discovery. By embracing solitude, practicing self-reflection, developing inner qualities, and building a stronger relationship with ourselves, we can transform loneliness into a blessing. Always remember, every challenge and difficult situation in life can be turned into a blessing if we know how to handle it. The same loneliness that troubles us can become a source of strength and wisdom. By following the Buddha's teachings and using our time alone for self-improvement, we can find true peace and happiness. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for more videos on mindfulness, self-compassion, and overcoming challenges.